Okay. So, good morning to everyone. Okay, so this is a discussion for VFD. We actually did already a part of this activity and a part of the reference material, but for the sake of being thorough, let's do it all over again. Okay. So VFDs are actually devices that change voltage or DC voltage into AC voltage. They use a device called a triac and wave shaping and wave generating elements. Okay. So the basic installation of a VFD is actually to connect it to the mains power. This is done and facilitated to by connecting the R and S terminals if you are using a single phase system or a single phase motor. But if you are using a three phase motor, it's R, S, and T. Now the motor goes into U and V if it's single phase motor, and U, V, and W if it's a three phase motor. Do note, some motors may require you to have a chassis grounding, and the chassis ground is put together with the E terminal of this particular unit. Okay, so next, so we have installation and metal separation. Okay. Take note, this device is actually or has a big heat sink at the back. The air has to flow on top of it. Hindi pwedeng water kasi short out mo yung circuits mo. Okay? So, air has to flow through it, and sometimes they place in electrical fans to do the work. Pero sometimes they use the ambient heat and ambient air to do the cooling. So take note, there should be a separation of 300 millimeters between the modules or any of the two modules na gagamitin. Or pwede na naman PLC to, ito yung mismong VFD natin. Just make sure that devices are separated 150 millimeters from each other, or 3 cm to kasi 50 cm to eh. So this is actually 30 cm apart. Okay? Isip pa ako kung ano yun. Okay? So this is again the connection na mas malaki para kitang-kita nyo. Take note, meron ditong module. Okay? Meron sila recommended module that you have a transformer connected to your power supply. Okay? And then that you route data into R, B, and RC terminals. So ang intention daw nito is to actually have a electrical reset terminal. Okay? But unfortunately, you have to buy the module from Delta. Okay? Wala tayo nun. Okay? So, wiring diagram for the external circuit. So, take note, the wiring diagram for the external circuit is all connected to the ground. Okay? Meron tayong M0, M1, pati M2. Now, okay. So now, if we look closely dito sa ano natin, meron tayong, ito yung inputs natin. Of all of these important ones, itong M0 at saka M1 yung importante para sa atin for doing external wiring. Together with the analog potentiometer. To take note, you have to have a potentiometer that goes up to 5K para sigurado kang hindi mo short yung system. Okay? So, ang connections niya is connected to the AVI, the 10-volt power. This is DC power, I'm thinking. Tapos, meron kang ground. Okay? Dun sa system. Now, pwede mong makita yung frequency in terms of a analog current if you connect the analog frequency meter dun sa ano natin. So, ang sinabi dito, any voltmeter raw from 0 to 10 will actually do. Okay? So, volts DC. Okay? So, ite-testing natin to sa Monday. Okay? Pagpasok natin. Now, you also have to take note that meron siyang 24 volt at saka 120 volt or 250 volt AC na contacts natin dito. Okay? So, ito ay being used as indicator lights kung naka-on yung device o hindi para madaling makita. Okay? So, the other one is the serial interface. In this case dito, naka-RJ11 siya. In the case nung model natin na nasa school, since medyo matanda na siya, it's already Modbus na tatlong butas lang na kulay green na terminal, which is more standard towards the PLC. Baka mas luma tong isang to. Okay. So, sometimes yung analog signal daw natin, yung wiring niya, receives too much bad information from electromagnetic interference. So therefore, we are asked to use a ferrite core to add in additional electromagnetic shielding dun sa system natin. May core clamps ako. Okay, so we'll probably use those. Alam ko meron ako iniwan sa tool room, yung maliliit na clamps na ginamit namin for a previous project. Okay. So when using contacts or switches to control the digital inputs, yung M0 at saka M1 natin, okay, use high quality components to avoid contact bounce, yung noise natin from the circuit itself. Okay. So, panel display, you've seen this one at the start. Pag inon mo siya, nakaset siya to F60, pero naka-stop lang siya. Okay? So, hindi siya gumagalaw. Tapos, we only use the up-down to change the value of the F natin o yung output frequency natin. Okay? But there are more factors to this one. Okay? So, ito yung mga commonly displayed messages dun sa ibabaw. Forward, run, or reverse, run. Okay? Natin. So, rev dapat yan. FRD tong isa. Okay? So, yung parameters na nakastore, usually 00 yung default. Okay? Tapos, yung end, okay, displays for approximately 1 second if the input has been accepted. Error is shown if the input is invalid. So, pag nakakita kayo ng F, ibig sabihin, yan yung applied drive frequency natin. Pag nakakita kayo ng H, yan yung totoong measured frequency na lumalabas dun sa output end natin. Okay. This is custom frequency or voltage, sorry. This is a counter value natin, yung 99, yung pag C. Pag A naman, output current na nandoon sa terminals natin. Okay? Internal process o PLC process, I50. This is normally facilitated by using the Modbus. So, pwede siya mag-store ng program doon sa loob. Pero, I'm still, I don't know kung paano siya ginagawa. Okay? To be truthful. I guess, may software ang Delta na pang shoot nung PLC program doon sa loob. Okay? So, important parameters for us to consider. PR0 and PR01. Kasi yung PR0 natin determines kung ano yung frequency source natin, whether it's the digital keypad, which is this one, or whether it's an external resistor, Doon ka kumukuha sa 10 volts DC. Tapos doon ka kumukuha ng yung power yon, and yung applied input signal mo is AVI. Okay? Sa PR1 naman, it's either yung run, stop, reverse, forward mo is determined by the digital keypad, or if your operation is actually done using external control terminals. Okay, natin. So, ibig sabihin, mag-wiring ka na nito. Okay? Tapos, program 24 is the inhibition of the reverse function. Okay? So, on a normal basis, ang sabi dito, inhibited siya. So, kung gusto mo may reverse ka, you need to make sure that the reverse function is set to 1. Okay? Ay, sorry. Is set to 0. Okay? Baliktad yung basa ko. Okay? So, external switches natin. Okay? So, pag sinet mo yung ating PR1 sa 1, kailangan mo i-consider ngayon to. Okay? You need to consider PR38, whether it is the PR38 na ganito, 00, yung M1 mo yung run, yung rev mo yung stop, or you do the dual, okay, consideration dun sa operation niya, wherein if M1 is open, naka-stop siya. If if M0 is open, naka-stop siya. If M1 is open, naka-forward siya. If M1 is is 1 or high, naka-run to or naka-reverse siya. Okay? So, this has to be configured. Otherwise, dito ka pupunta sa run stop, rev stop. Okay? Na mode. Ngayon dito, meron tayong additional na item. Okay? This one is with regards to the analog voltage setup natin. I guess this is something that has to do with program parameter 50 natin. Okay? But in essence, di mo naman kailangan yan kung hindi mo kailangan i-customize yung output mo. You just connect it and you just make sure that PR00 is set to 1. Okay? May mali tayo dito. Okay? Save. Okay. So, yun. So, that does it for the for the VFD. We can actually connect this one to the solid state PLC that we have. We just have to do some modifications. Okay. So, thank you very much for listening. I stop the recording.